Perfect. Tyler, I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, great, thanks. So yeah, my question is the video program that Paul uses to create his content. I was wondering if you know what that's called, because I want to create mine through videos also. And I like the way he's able to sort of start his video, and then if he realizes he needs to find something, he can pause it and then start again. He also can show his computer screen and the
Yep.
content he's working with, and then he can also switch and show his face. And it just
Yep.
seems like a good system. So
Yeah. So what we use is Loom. So Loom, LOOM.com. Loom.com. So I love Loom.
great.
I've been using it for years. It's been great.
So you'd recommend that for the content we create as well?
Absolutely. So because you could do that mix of showing your slide or showing your face or just showing your face.
Yeah.
You could do a mix and match when you're recording. Especially when you're doing like asynchronous stuff, which hopefully you'll be doing with your coaching people. Sometimes a video might be better, and it's super
Yeah.
fast.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anything else, Tyler?
That's it.
Awesome, man. That was a quick, easy win. Thanks, man. Hopefully you continue on with the rest of your day, man. Glad to have you on CBI team.
Sure. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You too.
Next one. Richard Ash, you say I'm unable to optimize the program without the Kingdom Connector operating. What is the status? It's important to be able to do this. Richard, I am going to unmute you. And Tyler, if you mind lowering your hand, that would be fantastic. Richard, and for everyone in here, I'll just give you a quick update on Kingdom Connector. You should be able to we just updated it this morning. The developer said that it's been fixed. So hopefully that has been taken care of. I have not been on Kingdom Connector as of yet today, but they said that it's been updated, and Paul went in and got all the updates necessary. So you should be able to see that stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. That's perfect timing. I just was in there this morning before our Kingdom Mindset class, and it wasn't doing anything for me.
Yeah, it's probably so one of the things that you have to do is you'll have to actually update it on your end just in case. And actually, what I'll do, since I have several people here, sometimes when we do a update on Kingdom Connector, you have to update it, and I will walk you guys through how to do that here in just a second. Let me share my screen. Hopefully, Richard, would this help you just in case?
Yeah, I updated it yesterday, to my knowledge, but that was yesterday. So if they did another update, I'll have to do it again.
Yep. And just for everyone else on the call, you may be wondering, how in the world do I update Kingdom Connector, right? So let me show you how you do this. So you should be able to see my screen. Richard, since you're the one unmuted, can you just verify that you see Google right now?
Yeah, I see your Google.
Okay, so on the top right, you will see this little puzzle piece, right, where it says Manage Extensions.
Right.
Then you're going to go to Manage Extensions right here. Okay, and then you should see all your work extensions. Now, for everyone else who's never had to update this is just something you should be aware of. You're going to want to update Kingdom Connector. Now, you might be wondering, how do I update Kingdom Connector? Well, once you go to Manage Extensions on this top right, you're going to see this thing called Developer Mode, right? You're going to turn that on, and then you'll see on the left some drop downs came in where it says Load, Unpack, Pack Extension, and then click Update. So all you're going to want to do is just click Update. Then it says Extension updated, and you should be good to go. Okay.
And I did update, and as of yesterday, it's the same today. It's 1.0.4.
Okay. Let me talk to. Let me do a ping then to Paul to make sure that that's been updated. Because I know the developers messaged us this morning saying, "Hey, it's been updated. You guys can update it on your side."
All right.
So what we'll do is, once I know I've verified it, if it's not happening during the QA call, what I'll make sure to do is put it on the change log when it has been officially updated and you guys need to go into the manage extensions and update it.
All right.
Sounds good, Richard?
Good deal. And I sent another one that you don't have to discuss now, but I posed a question and a suggestion. And you can respond via email on that if you'd like, or PM or carrier pigeon, or you can text me.
Oh, perfect. I think I would love the carrier pigeon style. We need to go old school.
You know, nothing wrong with old school now and again, let me tell you.
I know. So you said you messaged me. I'm just looking.
No, I submitted a second request this morning to you, to
Like a second question. Okay, I saw it. I'll message you privately on that one. Oh. Hey, Rich. I saw that second question and I'll message you privately on that one. So, sweet. That being said, let's go to the next one. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is coming from Mally or Malette. Forgive me if I am pronouncing your name wrong. Are you still here? I don't see your hand raised. She is not. But the question was for those of you who are still here, and Sophia, can you just make sure? Sophia, are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. I got quiet really fast. I was making sure I'm still live here. Okay. Her question was trying to figure out how to prioritize all the Zoom calls available. So how do I handle that? Which are most critical now? So for all of you who are wondering, oh my gosh, which ones are the most critical? Honestly, they're all here for your help. There's none that are like absolutely like critical. These are all here for when you are stuck or feel like you would want to get insight to things. If you have the free time, the ones that I suggest to always try to jump on is this one, the Tuesday Q&A call. It will hit a smorgasbord of things, right? So you'll have individuals who are in module 1, others in module 4, others in module 6. They'll be all over the place, right? But that would be helpful. For you specifically, Michelle, oh, this is Michelle Jimenez. You're in module 1. I would say go to the niche workshop if possible, or the spiritual vision workshop, because those kind of will help you through that module. But don't feel like you have to attend all those. Okay, that will feel extremely overwhelming. Do as much as you possibly can. They're all here for your benefit. Okay, so let me just make sure I see Michelle here. Michelle, I'm going to ask to unmute you, see if I answered your question, if there's any follow-up that you have on that one.
Yeah, you answered that. That's it. And you didn't give me a big handful, so that's
Perfect. I didn't want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm not telling you like go to every single one and overwhelm yourself. No. Pick the ones that are going to be the most important for where you're at.
I guess it's hard to know what's most important each time, like as I'm moving along, so, but
yeah,
I'm trying.
So I'll tell you this, the 3 workshops that we have, the technology workshop, the spiritual vision, and the niche workshop, they're definitely for individuals who are in modules 1 to like 3.
Okay.
And you're just kind of like stuck on like, how do I move forward, right? And the thing for all of you to know too is that that's only for like the first 15-20 minutes. After that is general Q&A. So if you just want to hop on those and get your questions answered, you're more than welcome to just jump on. It's just another opportunity. Typically what I do, if I go to like a workshop that like whenever I'm in a coaching group and it doesn't pertain to me, or I know that they're doing, like for example, you go to the vision workshop and you're like, oh man, I already did this. You could kind of just tune out for the first 20 minutes and then wait till they jump into Q&A, right? And then that's when you do that. But other than that, I think Tuesday one will probably be the most helpful in the sense that you get a broad spectrum to get your questions answered.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day, Michelle.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep chugging away. Let's see. This is from April Smith. April. Hey, everyone, make sure if you have put in a question to raise your hand, okay? So that I know where you guys are at throughout this process, and it just kind of helps me check it off, right? April, I have unmuted you.
Hi, Ken.
Hey, April.
Last week, I asked Paul about how much we share on Facebook, and he
Yep.
said, everything. And then I realized after we got off the call that I should have clarified. My question is kind of how much should we be active and sharing inside of our Facebook group? I'm not saying like hold content back, but if we have a constant presence in our Facebook group, why would people pay for our coaching that would make us accessible to them?
Yeah,
Does that
fantastic.
make sense?
So you're asking the question now, like what type of content should we post, but like how often? So like the rhythm.
Yes. What our engagement level should be, because it seems like if that's too much, there is no reason for people to pay to connect with us.
Yeah. So that's a two-part question. Let me answer it this way for everyone in the room too. When it comes to content creation, you really want to be creating content, you know, 2 to 3 times a week, right? Where you're throwing stuff off. That's the minimum. Now, if you double that, right, you're going to have an increase of exposure. So if you have the time to post every day, go for it, right? Like when I was in my less busy season, I would post on LinkedIn. Like that's the platform that I regularly use, right? And you'll still see me on there, right? I post about leadership development there quite a bit. I went from posting once every three days to once every day for like 90 days, and my following grew exponentially, right? So that's one of those things that when it comes to that, it just depends on bandwidth. The second thing that you had mentioned was how do we, you know, if you post all your good content, why would someone follow you? The reality is that when you start posting stuff, remember you're posting snippets of everything and like all the good stuff is there. But there's two things about coaching and your online program that are extremely vital that most people are, and this is the reason why most people are going to buy. The first one is that everything is consolidated in one area, right? Just think about like you are posting a bunch of stuff on Facebook. They don't know the sequence as to which one they should be looking at and when and how, where, right? They don't know that part. So that's extremely vital. So for all of you to understand is that as you're posting this stuff, right? You might post day one something from module one, but then day two you're going to post something from module three, right? It's going to be all over the place a little bit. So you want to make sure that you that the course has a sequential manner to it so that when you share that or when people pay for that, they know how to find it. The second thing is that they're not just hiring you for the knowledge, right? If knowledge was the key to change, right, then everybody would have changed in their life. But that's not true, right? It's the accountability for them to take action that is important. And that's why they're hiring you guys, all of you in this room, is not just for the knowledge, but the accountability so that they can take action. And this is why we, like even at CBI, we have the milestone tracker. We do these Q&A calls because we get to ask questions, right? Because we have the opportunity that you all can just say, hey, look, I'm here for you. What's going on? Where are you stuck? What's happening? And that leads to the last one is just the availability, right? Where you can actually be available for them when they're stuck. I don't know how many of you have ever been in this situation before, but you start researching something and then you get stuck in the rabbit hole and you research more and more and more and then you found different opinions and you're like, I don't know which one to follow. So this is where you come in and are able to speak to it and just be like, just do this, right? And that's what like Paul does even in the modules. Like, don't worry about all this other stuff. Just focus on this. April, does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have any other questions?
No, but I am really thankful for the accountability because I feel myself, I'm halfway through module 4 and I have been gung ho up until this moment. And this past, as soon as I got about halfway, I start feeling the panic set in of, oh no, I'm going to start going live. My friends are going to see what I'm doing. I really want like just my target audience and nobody that I know what I'm doing from the beginning, you know? So
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the accountability, I would go ahead and do what I've always done. I would stop now because
Yeah.
it's hit the hard part.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You're at the precipice of it. And here's another thing, April, to think about. And maybe this might help. I think the enemy knows that you have something to offer and he's going to try to mess with you. He's going to try to get you to stop. And that's why you're here right now telling me this because I'm here to speak truth into your life and tell you like, April, God has put a gift in you that he wants other people to hear about and to find freedom and change it. So don't stop. And I guarantee you, some of your friends, they might be like, what is she doing? Whatever. Like, who cares? It's not for them. It's for the people who need it the most. So you got this, girl. Like you're right at the precipice. Don't let the enemies sow those seeds. That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be excited to see when you're winning, right? And I'm gonna look forward to when you're like, I finished module 5, now I'm going to module 6, I'm doing the webinar, I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna be beautiful to watch. I guarantee you, April. You're gonna look back at this and be like, I knew that God has something for me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, April. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. I
Perfect.
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, April. Hope you have a great day. Awesome. And that's for all of you too. I'm sharing with April, I shared with April, but for everyone in this room, dude, the enemy is wanting to steal, kill, and destroy. Like that's what he's going to do. So for every single one of you, recognize that you have a platform that God wants to give you. He's given you a gift. He's given you something. And you know what? Some of you might be like, oh, my thing is not really quote unquote ministry related. Like I might not be helping people get closer to Christ. But here's the thing that you are doing. You're taking whatever gift, skill sets that he's developed in you. And then from there, you're taking that information and you're sharing it to the world. And now you're going to be light and salt to the earth, right? So say, for example, that you're like, hey, I'm just helping business owners. Doesn't matter if believers or unbelievers in tech. Well, guess what? Now they're going to come to you, right? And when you help them with one problem, they might be more inclined to come to you with other problems. And you may be the person who could help them with the ultimate problem, which is saving their soul if they have not come to a knowledge and saving work of Jesus Christ. So recognize that the enemy knows that every single one of you in this room right now has this massive bullseye in your eye, that bullseye in your life that the enemy is putting because he knows like if you guys become successful, it's going to destroy the works of the enemy. And that's what we want to do, right? So like make sure, I know that all of you are in this room, we all have doubts that sometimes like to creep in, little things like, oh, can I keep doing this? And here's one of them that I find that comes all the time. Okay. And then I'll get off my uh, soapbox here, but hopefully this is encouraging to all of you guys. One of the things that comes to my mind, and this is, I think, how the enemy loves to mess with all of you in this room, is like, you know what? I'll just do that tomorrow. I'll just wait till tomorrow because you don't either have the energy or you're just kind of like doubting. You're just kind of waiting. And if the enemy could just help you procrastinate one day at a time, one day at a time, what happens is 1 day becomes 2 days, 2 days becomes 3 days, 3 days becomes a week, then a month. And you're like, ah, should I really jump back into it? Yes, absolutely. So if you're in that place right now and you're like, I need to get my butt in gear, this is where you do it, right? Today is the day. right? Click the reset if you're procrastinating, and just say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to hold off. I'm going to spend the 2 hours a day. I'm going to spend the 5 hours a day, right? That's what we're going to do. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful for all of you, right? Make sure that you guys keep working at it. And I'm done with my soapbox. All right. We'll jump back into some Q&As here for the group. All right. Whew. All right, let's go. Let's see. I just did April. Hey do. Okay. Let's see. Hey do is the next person. Hey do, I don't see you in the chat or here. You just asked a question about software navigation, trying to follow Paul's instructions. I'm not sure which software you're at. So if you are here and I don't see you, make sure to raise your hand and we'll come back to that question. All right, next question. Jared Morel, the initial info and workload. Okay, so let's talk to Jared. Jared.
Hello.
Hey, Jared, how can I help you, man?
So I'm brand new and I'm clueless if this is going to sound like an infant asking you a question.
Not at all, man. Glad you're here.
Earlier there was a question. It may have been the first question regarding the Kingdom Connector app.
Yep.
When I go into manage, where you were showing him the update,
Yep.
etc., there's multiple toggles that are untoggled. And I'm just curious if I should have them toggled. Facebook, friend connector, execute API, etc. All kinds of toggles. None of them are toggled.
Yeah, great question. Let's see. Here is the question. So let me open it up real quick. Okay. And we'll go from there. I'm going to share my screen. Actually, are you able to share your screen, Jared? And I might be able to help you out that way.
I'm actually using a rigged version of Zoom, if you will, on my phone, so I'm not sure. It was giving me trouble on my laptop and I didn't have time to figure it out. So let's see.
Yeah.
I actually don't have it. I've got the Zoom on my laptop right now, and I've got the question, the connector pulled up on my laptop, but I've got Zoom on my phone. So
oh, got it. So here's what you could do is the biggest one that you want to toggle is for now the Facebook connector one. So as long as that one's toggled, you should be fine.
So I've got one called Facebook and I've got another one called Friend Connector.
Oh, Friend Connector. Yeah. So
Yep.
here, do you have the one that's called? It's interesting that yours says Friend Connector. Did you download a different one or did you download the Kingdom Connector one?
It's the Kingdom Connector with the big black square with the C in it. It's Kingdom Connector. It's the one that, I didn't know there was another approach, but
that's okay.
It says,
I'll give you a quick answer, and this might help. If you toggle it, what those toggles are when you click on Manage Extensions, that toggle is supposed to bring that bookmark or that app into your bookmark status. So you'll notice that when you toggle it on, the C will be right next to your search, the search bar.
it is.
Perfect. So that's all that little toggle is. So all the other ones, it does the same thing, that if you open that, it toggles it and it puts it up there.
Okay. Otherwise, I'm just here to listen because I have no idea what I'm doing yet. So I don't have any valid questions, I don't think. So
No. Hey, don't say that. You have everyone's questions valid right now. Okay. So you have valid questions and I appreciate that, man. You're starting in the conversation. So I love that you're here, man.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see. Who is next? I'm going through Haiti. Haiti, you mentioned we'll unmute you just to make sure there's nothing else that I haven't covered here already, but Kingdom Connector and also my Facebook group. So Haiti, are you still here? Again, guys, if you filled out the form, please make sure to raise your hand so I just can find you quickly here. Um, mhm, mhm, mhm. And if I already answered your questions, oh, there you are. Make sure to lower your hand. Hey, Haiti
There we
or
go.
Gal.
It's Hattie, like what you wear on
Heidi,
your head.
got it. Heidi, how can I help you?
Okay. I also had trouble with Kingdom Connector.
Okay,
And I took pictures of what you showed, so I should be able to get through that.
perfect.
When I go to the black box with the C, it tells me, oops, you're on the wrong page.
Yes. Okay, so Kingdom Connector only works when you're on Facebook. So you have to
Okay.
first log on to Facebook, and then once you're on Facebook, you click the C, and it'll pop down.
Okay. Now, how do I start a Facebook group? I'm not well equipped when it comes to Facebook. I have my own site, and I use it for my children and my grandchildren and all that. But a group, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Let me ask this, Heidi, what module are you in?
I'm in the middle of 2.
Okay, you're in the middle of 2, so you're kind of in the niche section.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've got that set up. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do. And
Perfect.
I was really excited last night. I researched homeopathic medicine, and I found that they charge $4,900 for the course.
Hey,
Now,
you got a market
yeah,
there.
because I've worked in it for 42 years, both holistic and homeopathic. So it's like, wow, this really, you, and of course I look at it and say, well, you don't really, it's common sense, and there's things that you have to know, but that had to be an extensive course for that.
I'm sure. Well, Heidi, let me do this. Let me walk you through your initial question,
Okay.
right? Where like how to set up your Facebook group.
Right.
There's two ways I'm going to answer this. Okay, the first one is once you get through module 2 and you get to module 3, there's actually videos there that walk you through it. But very quickly, I'm just going to share my screen and show you this.
Good deal.
When you go to Facebook, right?
Yep.
You go right here, Facebook. Then you click here where it says groups.
Yep.
Right? And then these are all the groups that I'm in. You'll notice over here on the left side, it says create a new group. You're going to click create a new group, and then you're going to follow the prompts.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
So,
okay.
And
Good
then
deal.
you can make it private. You could talk about who to visit, like who should see it, group style, simple, standard, and you could just go from there. But that's the
Right.
short version, the 30-second version. There are videos there that can walk you through it.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
doing
absolutely.
this. I've tried to do this for the last year on my own, and it's only cost me a lot of money, and I didn't get any place because, as you know, most of these programs that you go through, they give you just enough to get you in, and then you have to pay a lot more to get through it.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I never felt like I was in the right place. I just haven't. And this dropped in front of me. The good Lord dropped it right in front of me to sign on here. And I'm very happy I did. I love the work, and I know that I can do well, because this is where I'm supposed to go. But it's just to get through these little stumbling blocks, because I beat myself up. Well, what do you mean you don't know how to do this? This is silly. It's a simple thing, So here I am. I love the workshops.
I'm glad you're here, and you're definitely in a hot market. So just know we're glad to help you. And now that you know exactly what you want to do and stuff like that, you'll be able to move fast. So
Yeah.
we're here to give you everything. We're not going to hide anything.
Thank you so much.
Um,
Now I'll get off of mine because there's other people that need to have help.
Fantastic. And Heidi, also, there's a message that came into you from Abby that she said, could you email me about your course? So go connect with her.
Okay,
She's-
how do I do that? I don't
Uh,
see Abby.
It's in the chat feature. So if you click at the bottom of
Okay,
Zoom and click chat, you should be able to see it there.
all right,
But
thank you.
all right. Have a good day, Heidi.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Next person, Darren. I just asked you
Hey,
to unmute.
how's it
Yeah,
going?
doing well, man. I'm reading your message here. You're saying you're finding many new Facebook group members are from other countries. Do all of our systems and tools account for cross-border capabilities? Walk me through what you mean by that.
Just in terms of like payment processing or any of the courses that we create, really anything that we use, it's built for like a global market in mind. Is that correct?
Yeah, most countries will be able to handle everything that we're doing. There might be some countries that they're going to have to figure out on their own, like the currency and stuff like that. But we use Stripe. It's kind of global for payment processing. Kajabi's global as well. So everything that we recommend you guys use is pretty much global. Now the question will be is depending on what countries you're hitting, will they have the money for it?
Right. Yeah. And
But
that's another curious thing. I know it's probably not a question for here, but well, how do I guess, how do I go about that without wasting time? And it's
yep.
not just for people of other countries, just people in general, like in different stages of life. How do you kind of gauge if they're even able to buy a high ticket
Yeah.
course, you
So
know?
yep. So for let's go back a little bit for like let's just say country or like who you might be able to reach out to. I think Kingdom Connector you can splice of like what country they're going to, or you can just be mindful of that.
Right.
Once you hit module 5 and 6 and you build your webinar, that's kind of when you start splicing people. So you want to filter you want to bring as many people into your Facebook group as possible, right? And when you're having conversations, you are qualifying them like, oh, are they good? Are they not good? Right.
Right.
And then when you get to module 6, you build your mini webinar. And when that's going to be the thing where it says, hey, if you're interested in this and you might have the funds for it, here's the book a call, right? And they book a call, you have that conversation with them, and that's how you start to filter it.
Okay. Do you kind of take the approach? I remember Paul in his webinar was like, you know, you have to have like a couple $1,000s, but he didn't give the exact amount. And that kind of weeds out, you know, people who have the money for that will just have it in their bank account. And if not, they won't even care about what the price is. Is that
Correct.
kind of the approach you take?
Correct. So I think the last video that he recorded, he was like, hey, you have to have at least $3,000, you know, so that because you need to invest in the business.
Yeah.
So for all of you in the same thing, it's okay to not give like the whole number, but enough where they could work with you, you know, and work something out where there might be payment plans or whatever there is. But yeah, that's an easy way to weed people out.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. All right. Next question. Sorry, let's see. Okay. I have Dan Alpert. You said I like to use OBS Studio to record my videos. Can we upload this to Loom, or what are our other options? Dan, I haven't used OBS Studio. How does that work?
Oh, it's an open platform recording, and you can set up scenes and you can quickly see, you know, like we were talking about how you can have your face and then have what your content is, and you can have different scenes. So you can quickly switch between them. And so there's a lot more flexibility. You can have a green screen. So like I want to use a green screen and that kind of thing. I don't know if we even have that capability in Loom. So it just seems like there would be more flexibility. If we could use our own kind of recording platform and then upload, or how that, what I I don't know if it's changed or not. I looked at it, it was about a month ago, probably. I looked at Loom, but I don't know if it's changed at all since then. But I was just wondering if there's just different options, how that all looks.
Yeah, great question, man. So all these other platforms that we're talking about, all right, there's several out there. We just recommend Loom because it's easy, but if you've already used OBS Studio and you like it, and it gets you what you want, go for it.
I think
So
so with Loom, it provides the cloud storage for you though, right? Whereas OBS is you record it locally on your computer. So I was probably I'm assuming that Loom is probably a good platform just because it's in the cloud already and then it's easier to share, right?
Correct. It's faster and easier now for you. If you download, if it's locally, right, you could take that file and upload it to a Google Drive and share that Google link, or post it on a YouTube channel.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
an extra step, but
Yeah. There's probably, I'll look at different options there. I did want to comment on a couple things to Hattie, that module 3, Paul goes into the creating the face group so that he goes through step by step. So I just wanted to comment on that. And then I wanted to say that I love your words to April earlier, because it's exactly kind of the thing I've been dealing with procrastination and just getting focused, and Paul keeps talking about spaghetti head and things like that. So just, gotta just, and then today's call with Terry was so good about just being, kicking the devil out of our minds and just focusing. So
yeah, man.
Thanks for that.
No problem, man. It's crazy. It's one of the things that we so often forget of how much the enemy wants to plant seeds, right? And that's what Terry was talking about earlier too, right? Like the seeds that he plants. And for all of you, like for those of you who are married, doesn't the enemy love to do this with our marriage? He plants seeds of discord, right? And then all of a sudden, you guys get into fights for the most random thing possible, like the smallest thing possible, and you're like, what in the world? It's because the enemy wants to do that, man. And we got to just drop kick that demon, right? I don't know if you could physically drop kick a demon, but if you could, that's what we got to do. Anyways, my old New York City habits are kicking in, so we'll digress. Douglas, okay, or Doug, Doug Dunrod. Forgive me if I you said your last name wrong.
Yeah, Dunrud.
Dunrud. Wow, way off. My
It's
bad.
it's Norwegian. No problem. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, Doug, how can I help you? I'm reading here. You say you have an interview webinar appointment on October 26th. The module 6 checklist has an item for recorded your mini webinar. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, that's. Do you understand that question?
Yeah. So you set up a webinar with me then, right? Correct? Like preparing your mini webinar.
Yeah. Well, my understanding was that it was like a recording, and that like an interview style webinar, and then
Correct.
I would like play that on Facebook, right? Is that right?
Okay. Yep.
So then I guess I'm wondering, it seems like there's two of them. One is the interview webinar, and the other is the webinar that I record.
Yeah, let me see. I'm looking right now. So this is what I'm seeing here. Tell me which one. Tell me which one you're seeing, because I'm not seeing it here, and I want to make sure that we're on the right thing. So I'm in module 6 right now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Right. So module 6. This is the one that you click on, creating your mini webinar.
Right.
Right. So this is the one where the mini webinar interview. Where's the one that you're talking about, the recording one?
It's on the checklist. So yeah, it seems like a slight difference between the checklist and the module 6.
Okay, so here's a checklist right here.
Well, I'm sorry, the milestones.
Oh, got it. Yes. Okay, I'm now tracking with you. So the milestone, recording the checklist would be this one. So yes, the verbiage got changed a little bit, but it's the same thing. So
Okay.
once you do this, you should be good to go.
Okay, so but it uses, I think it uses that phrase pre-recorded. So I'm not pre-recording anything, right? I'm just
Nope.
doing the interview.
Mhm.
Okay.
Correct.
And that, yeah, I've got a related question, if it's all right. So I have one of my friends is like my my ideal client. So I'm coaching him already,
Yeah.
and he could be available for that interview, if that's all right to include him, and then you could ask him questions too.
It's possible. You know, we could definitely reach out to me via email. I
Okay.
think when the link sent you my information, my email's there, and we could try to set up a time.
Okay.
See if we can make it work. Let me think about it, just so
Okay.
that we can narrow it down. Here's the reason why, okay? And this is for everyone who's like in module 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're like, what in the world are these guys talking about right now? In module 6, what we used to do is we used to tell you, go create a webinar that you're gonna, like a 10 to 15 minute webinar that you're gonna post on Facebook, and this is gonna create leads for you, right? This is kind of gonna be the selling thing. Well, we found that most people were like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. I've never created the webinar, and we provided the slides, we provided everything for you, and it was just really difficult for some individuals. So we said, why not, let's just make it an interview style where myself and some of the other coaches will step in and we will be the ones who do the interview. So there's questions we ask, and I'll listen to, I pride myself in trying to be a good listener. Hopefully I've done a good job of that so far here in this meeting, but I'll listen and I'm the one providing feedback. And here's the beautiful thing about the interview style that we're doing is that you just come in with the expert knowledge that you have. You do not have to be the one who feels like you have to sell something. You just come with the expert knowledge. You let us as the coach handle that, where we're like, oh my gosh, right? This is what you're selling. That's fantastic, right? Like we're your hype man. Okay, so that's what we're going to do during the webinar. So it makes it a whole lot easier. You don't feel like you have to learn this whole new skill set. So that's what Doug and I were just talking about. If some of you are curious of like what in the world, when you guys get there, it'll be super exciting for us to jump into those conversations. So that being said, Doug, with your friend, just shoot me an email. Let me know if, and we'll see if we could coordinate that way.
Yeah, will do. I just have to say that when I saw that interview, I thought that's such a fantastic way of doing this coaching, because it kind of takes it off this huge thing you got to do to just show up, get people, to know about it, and then just show up.
Yeah, and I mean, we got, just so you guys know, I can't say much right now, but like we have some exciting stuff to help you guys even excel faster that we've been coming up with and thinking through and beta testing. So the more we kind of iron things out, the more we're excited with. And this is one of them, right? Where it's like, let's do the interview process. We could crank these out really fast. I just did one yesterday and I got it to the individual that same day, right? And they were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This was great, right? So y'all are gonna kill it. It's gonna be so awesome. I'm so excited for all of you. So cool. Doug, thanks man so much for that stuff. Let's keep going on here. We have Joella. I will unmute you. Okay. You said, I am new and I want to know what I need to do to be successful. Right. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that, Joella? Okay. I don't know if she's still here. Probably my great words of encouragement just sent her to the third heavens and she's just chilling with Jesus now. So um, for all of you who are new, just FYI, that was a joke. For all of those who are new and want to know what you need to do to be successful, here's a couple.
Yeah, I'm here.
things.
I'm here.
Hey,
Hello.
hey,
Can you hear me now?
came back from the heavens. She's like, all right, Jesus, I'll go talk to Ken.
Yeah. So yeah, the enemy is trying to overwhelm me when I was going through everything. But greater is he that is in me than him bothering everybody in this world, anyways.
Amen. Awesome.
Yes. So I just want to know exactly what to do to start with so that I don't mess up and just do well.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're asking the question. First thing that I would say is take a deep breath. Okay. You got this. Right. I know when things are new, it could be overwhelming, right? It could be like, oh, there's a lot of things. What do I pick on? Right. Just take a deep breath. The second thing is just make sure every day you set aside some time to do
Okay.
several things. Number one, you do the top three things, right? You're spending time with Jesus, you're praying. Like, make sure that um, that is your primary focus. And for all of you, right? Paul talks about this, doing the top three things. Because if we don't do that and we're just always working on our business and not connecting with Jesus, we'll miss the mark,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So just stay focused on Jesus. He's the one who's going to guide you. The Holy Spirit is the one who's going to lead you, right? To give you peace. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the second thing. The third thing is once you set aside time for you and the Lord, also set aside time to actually work on stuff. And this is where focus is absolutely essential. Where you just say, hey, I'm going to take an hour a night or 2 hours a night, and I'm just going to work on the modules. I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to be on Facebook. I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm just going to focus on these things. Okay. Once you do that, you set aside the time. The last thing is just go through each one video at a time and just do the homework that it's asked of you during that video.
Okay.
Right. We're cleaning things up. We're making it simple. You might be getting like 15 different emails and doing this and do that. We're cleaning a lot of that stuff up on our end to make it as easy as possible for you. And you're gonna do well. So just take a deep breath, spend some time with Jesus, focus,
Okay.
and just say, hey, I'm gonna do one video at a time, and jump in these calls, and we'll be able to be here to help you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Glad to be here.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. All right. All right. We got two more here. All right, Shyla and Bruce, I don't see your question, but I will unmute you. Hopefully you have an easy question and you don't bring up a hard question. Shyla, what you got for me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you would like to know my Venmo and Cash App so you could give me some Christmas money. Yes, I'd be honored to give you that. I'm just kidding. Shyla, how can I help you?
Okay, so I did send in the questions, but maybe they didn't come through. So where did I write them down at? So my first question is about, I believe it was in mod 5, collecting payment. So in the video it said, well, you're setting up a Stripe account, something about like they'll accept LinkedIn as instead of a website or something, but Paul had said something about you need to have some connections on there so it doesn't just look made up. And I never really used LinkedIn before. And so I don't know what kind of connections I'm supposed to have or how I'm supposed to get those.
Yeah, so if you start a new LinkedIn account, what you're gonna want on it is just some friends, right? Like you're connecting with some friends, some people, and just start posting on LinkedIn about stuff. If you want, you could reach out to me and I'll connect. We'll connect today, right? Just so you could have people there, and it's just wanting to show that you have proof, and you're just filling it out so people can see, oh, Shyla's a real person.
Okay. The other thing was I've been posting content in different Facebook groups. I've been in this process for a couple weeks now, 2 to 3 weeks, I would say, probably 3 weeks. And I've gotten a lot of like interaction on them. But one problem I'm having is when I get interaction, I'll go to their name and try to friend request them and send them a message. But in these groups, for some reason, it does not allow me to send them a friend request. On a lot of the people, there's only a couple people that it allowed me to actually send them a friend request. And so the other people I still message, but I feel like maybe they're not seeing the messages because, you know, I'm not allowed to friend request them. And so I've had a hard time. I only have one person added into my group that I invited them to. And I think just because I don't remember everybody's name that, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the ones that I friend requested first and then sent a message to. So I'm having a pretty hard time getting not so much interaction in the group because a lot of people react to the content with their own answers or, but actual interest. I'm not able to gain interest in like a course. I mean, I haven't advertised whatever, any type of course thing, but I've only been able to get one person into the group.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple questions to help me figure out how to best help you here. As you're thinking about this, number one, when you say you're trying to add friend requests, but it's not working, are you using Kingdom Connector? Are you doing it manually? What's going on?
I'm doing it manually. I've tried using Kingdom Connector before, and I'm assuming maybe it just wasn't working very well because of that reason. I don't know if the group admins have a certain setting on there. So when I go to, so everyone I've friend requested so far, I've manually done it because I want to make sure I'm friend requesting people that are actually interacting with my posts. And so what it comes up, it basically says something along the lines of, we want you to connect with people you may know. And basically Facebook doesn't think that you know them. And so it doesn't even give me the option. It just will not let me friend request them.
Let me ask this. What's your niche? Like what are you trying to target?
So that's another thing I kind of feel like I'm having somewhat of a problem with. I know exactly what I'm, wanting to do now. The problem I'm having is it's not teaching someone to make more money. It's more like coaching. So my niche is, I don't have it right in front of me. It is I help Christian women struggling with ADHD to overcome like the paralyzing effects of ADHD or something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but that's the gist.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good.
Oh, without medication. That's another thing.
Okay. That's good to hear. Okay. So a couple thoughts that might be able to help you in this journey is, number one, I'm just kind of spitballing here, or not spitballing, but there's no priority to them.
Right.
Number one, when it comes to your demographic, just recognize, and for everyone in the room, right? It doesn't have to, the result does not have to be money. Okay. The result is something else. So just know that, as you had mentioned, like, oh, they're not making any money. Well, you're helping people with ADHD, women with ADHD find freedom, right? And not have to be on medication. That's a big deal. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I've recognized that. And so that's not let me rephrase kind of what I meant to say is
Yeah.
I think that because I'm not in a niche that is able to make them money if they, join the program or whatever, I don't think that they are looking at my post in a way of, hey, I need her help with something. Maybe I don't know. I mean, that's what the messages are for, I guess, right? When you message them privately.
Yeah. And then the thing that I would say is, and this was going to be my second thing, is that your clarity content should be focused on what you did to find freedom. Like, hey guys, ladies, this is what I did. Like, this is how this helped me. This is how this helped me. Like, sooner or later, what that does is that it's going to draw people to you, where they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she knows what she's talking about. And you could always be like, hey, I'd be glad to reach out to me if you want to chat about this. Right. So you kind of leave that in the group post, like, hey, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. Right. If you ever need a listening ear, I'm here. Right. Like, you're just kind of throwing that out there. You're not saying, hey, if you need a coach, come reach out to me. But like, hey, if you need a listening ear, feel free to reach out to me. And what that does is, all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, they'll message you, they'll send you a friend request. Because what ends up happening is there is a setting for members, like Facebook individuals. I don't know if it's a Facebook group. I haven't encountered it yet, but that they would keep it private. Now, what would be interesting is if there's a lot, everyone is private, then that'd be curious to me why that's happening, and it might be in the Facebook groups. The other suggestion I would look at is if you should join a random Facebook group, like a Christian meme Facebook group, just for fun. I'm just picking one, something out of the top of my head, and see if you could friend request those individuals, because most of those will be more public, and see if for
Right.
some reason the ADHD world or those places you're going that are more on health and wellness have some privacy issues that I'm not aware of. But just kind of start dissecting that. Once you find that out, you can easily be like, hey, I'm gonna have to either do manually, or I'm gonna have to start looking for Facebook groups outside of the ones that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's probably one of I'm a part of a lot of ADHD groups. Um, but there's only one Christian group, and because I'm so specifically targeting Christian women, even though I know I can help more people because my course is very targeted towards, working with God also at the same time as, all the skills, right, that you would need to overcome it. But a lot of it is really partnering with God that I just don't, there's not room for non-believers in my course. And so I'm having a hard time with that too, because a lot of the sites, and this is one of the things I've really run into, a lot of the groups, I feel like when people become members of those specific groups, medication is talked about a lot, which is not, which, my course is towards, without medication. That's the whole point in you needing this course, is because you're choosing not to go the medication route. And so a lot of them in these groups are very much more enabled, not enabled. I can't really think of the word I'm trying to say right now. It's almost like they feed into each other a bit and are very,
They're codependent.
right. And
Maybe
so
that
it's
might be the
really
word.
hard for me to, it's been challenging for me to find people that don't want to do the medication route without, plainly asking on the group, which is kind of weird too. So
Yeah. So one other thing, Shyla, that I should mention, this is for everyone. When you get into the conversation about medicine, okay. So there's another member I'm helping who's working on like helping people with cancer, stage 4 cancer, in alternative medicine, right? Alternative routes, more like it. You have to be really mindful, because Facebook and all these other places would just kind of shut it down kind of quickly.
yeah.
So the things that you could ask, and these are like more open-ended questions that you would have to ask, like, hey, um, like, I'm just, again, you're gonna have to refine this, but the things that I'm thinking through is like, what are the things that uh, would happen to you if you stopped taking your medication, or what would life look like for you if you took care of your ADHD without medication? Here's what I did. Like, here's what's worked for me. What do you guys think? Like, at some point, you're gonna have to breach that topic, and without using the Christian language, just talk about that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was gonna say is you probably want to, in regards to Facebook groups, you probably want to like look for Facebook groups that are like for Christian women who want to be like healthy and well, or something like that, or who are, I'm just picking on moms because my wife's a mom, right?
Right.
Um, like moms, and just start posting about ADHD and see what shows up, right? Like you might have more freedom there than in the other groups.
Okay. Yeah, I did get I ended up doing that, actually, going into the other groups just to, see if that would yield anything. But then I was like feeling like I might be straying off the beaten path, you know what I mean? And just going through all their posts. But
Yeah,
anyways,
and,
I
and
think
I wouldn't go too far to the beaten path, the biggest thing that I think you should do, and again, this is for everyone, is look at a bullseye, right? Look at it as a target. The bullseye is like your ideal customer, right? But then sometimes you may have to go to one ring out to figure out, right? Like, oh, I can't target these specific individuals, so I need to go a different route. So what type of people typically struggle with, and I'm just using this for you, Shiloh, like what 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 type of women usually struggle with ADHD? What type of groups are they in? What type of stuff do they like? And again, I'm being very generic, and forgive me if I'm sounding
Yeah,
super
no,
ignorant,
I get it.
right? But that might help you, because then you could start looking in those routes, right? So again, I'm using this as a specific example. If you're like, hey, if I'm helping Christian women who want to be astronomers but struggle with ADHD, or CSI investigators, right? Like they need some intense focus on the work that they do. That ADHD might not help, but again, that's where you're looking, right, for that
Right.
demographic and seeing if that helps. Does this help?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying.
Sweet, awesome. Well, Charlotte, I would say just keep pushing forward. If you get stuck, again, if you're like, man, I'm still not getting traction, reach out to us, set up a one-on-one, and let's do a deep dive on like your
Mhm.
stuff. Like we could see your posts, we could see your things. One thing I noticed, and for everyone else in the room too, is that like if make sure to send us your milestone tracker so that we have that on record, so then we could see the stuff that you're posting and we could give more insight there.
Okay, the milestone tracker is the CBI Connect thing, or
No,
I'm
no, no.
not
So
sure what the milestone tracker is, honestly. There's been so much stuff that I feel like has changed since I first started. I've had, some courses I've taken got moved to the end, and then so there's been a lot of movement in
got
the
it. Okay,
course
so
since I
if
started.
you go to module 1, okay.
Uh-huh.
If you go to module 1, I'm just trying to look for the right one that you could look at the video. Oh, I'm in the wrong course here. Hold on one second. So if you go to module 1, then go to the daily practice, habit, action, and milestone tracker. There's a
Mhm.
new milestone tracker that we want you to use. Okay, and then
Okay.
it kind of walks you through some stuff. If you put all the information from your niche, like the Facebook group, all that stuff, and then set up a one-on-one meeting, we could look at it
Okay.
and kind of help you out a little bit more in depth
Okay.
if you're still getting stuck.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Awesome, no problem, Shala. All right, we got a few more hands here. We're making it. Bruce, you've been patiently waiting. Bruce, how can I help you, man?
Hi, Ken. Thank you. I'm very new. I just joined a few days ago.
Hey,
Um,
congrats, man. Welcome to the team.
Thank you. I joined a couple days ago. I'm halfway through module 1, and the enemy trips me up a lot with tech. So to make a long question short, is the workshop that I should key into quickly to, I asked a question before about Paul, going into the accountability aspect of the milestone tracker. So I tried to follow his instructions, logging in and trying to make a copy and customizing the copy, and that all did not work out so far. So should I be going to the tech workshop to ask these types of questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 2 ways actually you can do it. Number 1, if you go to Circle, are you familiar with Circle yet? Have you gone through that module,
I downloaded
the app?
yes, I did.
Okay. So if you post a question there, like you might have a tech question that you have an issue with, have you posted there? Either one of the members actually might be able to help you faster, right? They're like, oh yeah, I had that same problem. Here's it is, or one of the coaches kind of jump in and help you through that as well. So just something to be aware of. The second thing is, yes, you can jump into the tech workshop, and we could kind of go through that as well, and walk you through it. last thing is that, and especially at the tech workshop, you could just kind of help tell people like, hey, this is the specific issue I'm having. I need help. And the coach, it will either be myself or Dustin who jumps in on that one, who can walk you through any issues. In regards to, let me just get specific, and hopefully this might help you. It sounds like right now the biggest part that you're stuck in is the milestone tracker, correct?
Yes, yes. It's like drinking from a fire hose, quite frankly. This is all a little daunting to begin with, but I'm trusting in the Lord. It's all going to work out in the end, but the start is a little awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so let's do this then. For the milestone tracker, I think the best thing to do, okay, is that if you click on the, I'm gonna just kind of share my screen here real quick, okay?
Okay.
Just to kind of, oh, wrong screen, hold on. I just lost it, Hugo. Okay, so here's the easiest thing you could do, okay? Number one is that when you go to module 1,
Mm-hmm.
right, there's gonna be the daily practice, habit, action, and milestone tracker. There's gonna be the video, there's gonna be all this stuff. You're gonna wanna click here for, or it says share the link to your tracker. So you're gonna wanna
Okay.
this link. It's gonna open up this tracker, right? And you might be like, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't know any of it. That's okay. All I want you to focus on is 2 things. Ready? You're gonna click file,
Right.
and then you're gonna click make a copy, and then
Okay.
name it whatever you want. Typically, I would say to people, put their first name, their full name, milestone tracker. Okay, so I'm just gonna say Ken F CBI milestone tracker, and then I'm gonna click make a copy. I've probably created way too many of these when I've been testing and playing around, make sure nothing's broken. Okay, so once you have this, this is the part that some people get tripped up on, and hopefully I can help everyone in this room. When you create your milestone tracker here, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is that on the top right, you're gonna see this big green button that says share. You're gonna click share. And then this is the part where some people get tripped up, and it's really important, is that when it says general access restricted, you wanna change that to anyone with the link. And then from viewer, you wanna make sure that anyone with this link has editing access, so it's editor. Once you do that, you're gonna copy the link, you're gonna press copy link, and then you're just gonna email it to us. And then if there's any little errors, we'll go in and fix it.
That was very helpful. That's exactly where I got tripped up. Thank you.
Perfect. Glad I get to help you, man. So I know how those things could be. But again, if you have any other questions, man, make sure to join us in the tech workshop as well.
I will. Thank you.
No problem, Bruce. Glad to have you on the team.
Mhm.
All right. We got one more. Everybody, we got this. We got one more. This has been super exciting. And then I want to hopefully help you guys out with something. But Steve,
Oh,
you're
yes.
the last person, man.
Okay. Sorry, I'm keeping us over, I think, and I didn't get to fill out that form today because my service was in and out at work, but I'm out in my car now. It's a little better.
No worries, man. How can I help you?
My first call or my question was the monthly payments, the first 3 months. I was just curious after the first 3 months, what support we would lose or wouldn't have access to if we had to stop the monthly payments after 3 months.
Yeah, great question. So if you stop the payments after 3 months, you'll still have access to the course, right?
Okay.
And so you still have access to all that. After the 3 months, the things that you lose access to is listening to my beautiful voice once in a while. You might be like, I'm canceling right now. Boom. No, so you lose access to the live Q&As, one-on-one coaching, those type of things. So the accountability is the big thing that you'll be losing on that.
Okay, is that all the QA calls or even the niche workshops, like the tech workshops as well? Or is it just QA calls and the one-on-one coaching?
All the workshops. You lose
all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
So
Just wanted to get an idea of a timeline so I can get everything up and running before then, so I wouldn't have to, cut that off after the 3 months. But
well, and our
okay.
hope, just so all of you are aware, is that after the 3 months, like that, you guys would start making you seeing results within the 3 months. And after those 3 months, you'd be like, why would I want to stop this? They're going to help me with any other major issues that come up. I want that,
Right.
500 to 497 or whatever it is a month to keep going, because we're just going to be here to help you. We have some
Right.
members who are like now in more, like they're getting more into advanced stuff where they're like, oh man, I want to figure out how to do ads and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, well, let's get you connected with the right people and hook you up. So
Okay.
we're in an exciting place. So yeah.
Okay. And the
Awesome.
other question is on the Circle
Yep.
media site.
Yep.
Are those sections, how did those get unlocked? I think I sent a request, or I did send a request in on there. And I still can't get into the market gift niche. I think it is module or section on that. Still showing
That's
that's
so weird.
private space.
All of them should have been freed by now, but let me send a quick message right now. Hold on. Let me put this down and be like, Steve, how do you spell your last name? I'm not seeing your.
Sure. Yes. Petree.
Yeah. Steve Petrie, Petree.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Oh, well, let me ask this, Steve, before I send this
Sure.
message. You said are you done with module 1 or are you in the middle of module 1?
Yes, I'm in the middle of module 2 right now.
Oh, you're in the middle of module 2. Okay, so you should have
Yeah.
access. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
I just
for the
sent that.
M2.
I
Okay,
just sent
awesome.
that you could get access to it.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. That being said, hey, everyone, thank you so much for being here. And before you go, I want to do something really quick, really quick. If you guys could take 30 seconds to go to the chat, on the chat, and just write a win that you've had so far. Okay, what is the win that you've had so far for the CBI, within the CBI program, right? That might be like, hey, I just went from module 1 to module 2, or hey, I just started my Facebook group, or I just built my webinar, whatever it is. I just want you to take 30 seconds to write your last win. Oh, so make sure you do that, okay? I want you to do this. And then Sophia, if you're still here, can you just copy all these things? And the important reason I want all of you to do this, okay, is that sometimes we could get so bogged down in all the minutia of the business that we don't take a moment to celebrate what you have accomplished. Like, you're starting a business. That's a lot of work, right? And you're starting a kingdom business where the enemy's coming after you, right? So like, you need to stop for a moment and just make sure that you are completely celebrating the wins. All right. So I'm reading here a couple of the wins. Wow, they're coming in fast, right? Number 1, right? Susan Harper just said start in module 5. Praise the Lord, right? Tyler said I finished module 3 and I'm getting some awesome clarity content. I love it, man. Keep writing the clarity content. Dan, you got your Facebook group going and started module 4. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's see, what am I reading? Thank you. Module 1 to module 2, Frank, right? I love it. Angela, you're setting new goals for yourself. Fantastic. Richard, I have a lot of people telling me I have a good content. I am almost done with module 4, celebrating the 1/3 point. I love it, right? Let's see. Dan says, got a full day today. Finish up the needs of module 5, get 6, unlock, and start making a real difference. He's just excited, right? Cherry, I was able to copy and share the milestone tracker. That's huge. Like, for some of you, that's going to be a big thing. That's great, right? Like, celebrate these wins. Steve, right? Got my quiet times more consistent in the mornings. Love it. Okay. Joanne, 4-hour fireside chat in the backyard last night with my wife and Jesus. Oh, that is beautiful. right? So these are just wins that are coming in, right? I just want all of you to celebrate, right? Remember, you are on your journey, your pace. So some people in here might be like, oh, I'm in module 6, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm only in module 4. That's okay, right? Like keep pushing forward. Make sure you focus on, how do I knock this out? Stay consistent. All of you schedule some time every day to do the work, right? Because the more you just put that and it becomes a habit, the faster you'll see it. It's like a snowball effect, right? Where you create a little snowball, you throw it down the mountain, and it's going to go bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So keep it focused. I love all these wins. I love that you guys are doing this. And remember, we're here for you every single day. That Monday through Friday, we are here. Send in your request on Circle. Come to a group, a Q&A. Find a way to get a hold of us if you need to make your business thrive. That's what we're here for. So all that being said, I'm going to pray us out, and then you guys can have the rest of your day. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I'm glad that this conversation has helped you today. That being said, also don't forget to always check the change. Always check the change log, right? In Kajabi, we have updated a couple things there that you want to make sure you look at and take a look. All right. So let me pray, and then everyone go advance the kingdom of God. Heavenly Father, we just come before you. We thank you for who you are. We thank you that you reign. We thank you that at the end of the day, you have victory, and you have victory today too, Father. Everything is yours. You hold everything in the palm of your hands. You're sovereign, you're majestic, you're glorious. Thank you, Father, that we can entrust our lives, our business, our whole world to you. So, Father, we just ask you right now that you just keep us, right, encouraged and motivated and disciplined to do what needs to happen, Lord. I pray right now for those in this room who the enemy is trying to steal, kill, and destroy, that whatever traps the enemy has placed, that, Father, you would break them and stop them right now. Lord, let every single one of these individuals see that you are the one who is doing the work in them so that they could shine like this great star in a depraved and crooked generation. Lord, help the world see that they need you now more than ever. And let these people in this room be a movement, a revival of people coming back to you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. All right. With that, again, make sure that all of you have a good day. Sophia, make sure you copy those wins so that we could have them saved and to remind all of you. That being said, every single one of you, if you have any issues, make sure to post it on Circle and reach out to us. Hope you guys have a great day. Sophia, did you get those?
Yep.
Awesome.
Every bit.